Hello, welcome to Global Asset Channel. If this is your first time stopping by Global Asset Channel, I want to appreciate you for taking time to stop by my channel. And by way of introduction, I want to let you know that this channel is basically for immigration matters. Like I guide people, educate them on how they can migrate from their countries of originality to the country of their choice without any inch, without being duped, without falling victim of fraud, right? We know that there are so many fraudulent people out there in the name of people wanting to get out of their countries to their countries of dream. So I guide people, I guide them and on this step-by-step way of how they can do this by themselves, because you don't need, like I said, you don't need immigration consultant, you don't need immigration agent to be able to process your document to get out of your country. So that's by way of introduction. Once again, welcome to Global Asset Channel. So today I will be talking about education credential assessment. Education credential assessment. So education credential assessment is one of the provider that the Canada immigration use to kind of verify your credential from your country of originality. A lot of people have asked me if I have ECA, as it is abbreviated to. If I have ECA, can that give me job in Canada? If I have ECA, can I use that to do anything in Canada? So ECA is not like a work permit or anything. This is simply educational credential assessment. So they have different provider under this educational credential assessment. They have different providers. They have what they call the World Education Service providers. So World Education Service is like, they call it, they abbreviate it to WES. If you hear people saying WES, it's World Education Service. So what they do, this is one of them. I'll go through the all other ones. They have International Credential Assessment of Canada, International Credential Assessment of Canada. They also have comparative education services, comparative educational services, and they have international qualifications assessment services, international qualification assessment services. They also have international credential evaluation services. And there are two special bodies that also help to assess some licensing. For example, you have the Medical Council of Canada, MCC. So it's like a stepping stone for medical doctors who want to assess their credentials. And the second one is Pharmacy Education Board of Canada. So these organizations, they help you verify your credentials from your countries of originality, and then once they are done, they issue you a certificate. And with that certificate, if you're applying to school, you're applying for immigration process, you're applying for anything in Canada that will request your credentials to be assessed, then they can give you that certificate from them to tell the company, organization, or the school that yes, we have already evaluated this person's credential from their countries of originality, and it is equivalent to that of Canada. So this fellow, they're going to be very useful to Canadian government or Canadian work system or Canadian universities. Their certificate is commensurate or equal to or equivalent to the Canadian education. So that's by ways of introduction, and their fee varies. I think it also depends on what you want to do. So if you are coming for immigration process, I think West is like 26248. And if you want to you do your tracking, they'll also ask you to pay. So if you have questions about all this fee, just ask on the comment section. I'm going to put it up for you. So why am I doing this video now? Like I said, people ask for it. But in addition to answering people's question, I want to strongly recommend, if you are from Africa, especially from Nigeria, please, I am recommending that you move your credentials, you move your curriculum, you move your transcript from Nigeria to anybody like these organizations. The reason I'm advising this is that, please don't get me wrong, I love my country. I can never talk my country down. I love Nigeria to pieces. Without Nigeria, I wouldn't be here. But I want to strongly advise you because of the recent incident that's happened to nurses in Nigeria last week. So on the 7th of February, the registrar of Nursing and Midwifery Council Board of Nigeria came up with a decision that henceforth, if nurses want to do verification with Western countries, like if I'm a nurse from Nigeria and I want to do verification with the College of Nursing of Ontario, College of Nursing of Saskatchewan, then I will have to fulfill certain conditions, which does not make sense. So I'm only advising you to do this because if you do your credential assessment with any of these bodies or these companies that I mentioned before, your credential stays safe with them. So it's like you are actually banking your credentials. So if you in the future need those credentials to be sent to any other organization, whether in Canada or anywhere in the world, you just have to pay a token of like $25 or $30. So that will save you a lot of stress, because I foresee registrars of university in Nigeria following suit the way that Farouk just did. And you and I know our countries, that those political cabals, those demonic politicians, they rule the world in Nigeria. So I'm just advising you, if you can afford it, if you can do that now, move your credentials. Move your credentials to any of these organizations. Move your credentials and register with them. Somebody might say, how do I move my credentials? Register with this organization. They will request for your transcript, and you fill a form and send to your school where you graduated. And once you send to your school where you graduated, the next thing is that they will do verification. Once they finish with the verification, then they send you your certificate. So with that certificate, you can apply. You can use it to apply for immigration purposes. You can use it to apply to schools that require it. If you are lucky and you get a job offer in Canada, and some companies want to also know if your educational qualification is commensurate to what the Canadian one is, they will accept that from you. Plus, you won't have to be going forward and backward looking for your registrar, looking for your whosoever to give you your transcript if you need them in future. So bank your credentials, bank your transcript, because what those people are doing to Nigerian citizens at this moment, we can expect anything from them. We can expect anything from them. I'm going to play you the video of this Dr. Farouk. The nurses went to him in a very respectful and responsible manner, and he said he was going to get back to the nurses. And in his next video that I'm going to play, you will hear what he said.
Say, what is the average remuneration or package of average? Average nurse that I engage receive about not less than 135,000. It depends where they are working. Some of them receive up to 200,000. It depends on where you are working, whether they at the national or state or local government. I think this is just brief what I can tell you. But I want to add to say that the Federal Ministry of Health is doing a lot, and a committee is now being put by the ministry to look at all the cases raised by the National Association on behalf of the entire nurses all over the country. I believe that will address all the issue of welfare, issue of remuneration they are talking about. I think that will be handled. So it's not the council responsible for determining the remunerations of any nurse. The remuneration of nurses are also determined by a National Salary and Wages Commission, which is the body responsible for determining all that nationwide, and nurses are also inclusive. So that is my response on that.
But you surely can as well, put in word, because you feel the pulse of the nurses. And I'd like to bring it to this point. I don't know what the plan is, but it had better be good, because what is being paid these nurses outside there, I mean, talk about £2,000. If you convert that, £2,500. If you convert that to Naira today, you know what it is. And naturally, it is juicy. That's the goal for everybody, to, progress in life and earn better. Even those in government, those in civil service, that's the goal, to keep climbing higher and higher. These nurses have also talked about, not just the condition of work, but a lot of them talk about, social recognition. They're not really appreciated. Whatever is happening, attention is paid to doctors, and then afterwards you can now talk about nurses just for a moment. So there's that as well. But to talk to the real issue, which is the nurses saying, stop this whole process. Let us approach this in a different way. I want you to speak pointedly to that. Are you considering stopping this verification process? Because you have to get a letter of good standing and all of that. And to them, this is basically stopping them from aspiring to be better in life. Is this something you're considering, to stop this verification regulation?
All right. I think the question, you cannot stop what the process, what the system provides. And I told you from the opening preamble, this is a international standard. It's not only applicable to Nigeria. Every country, regulatory agencies provide verifications and issue letter of good standing. Now, we cannot say we are stopping. We cannot stop what is also regulatory provide all over the world. And remember, we are, as regulatory agencies, we are trying to operate in line with the global best practices. And we cannot say we are putting what the global best practices put in place to checkmate and ensure what is ideal and what is the best to be done. And we have to check all these things. I told you a number of reasons where we need to look at to review these cases. It is the council that even provide all our services today are digitalized. So as long as you fulfill the requirement, you'll be able to get whatever you want. And like I told you earlier, going to America requires about 10 processes, 10 different steps. Going to UK, it requires about between 6 to 7. And all this takes time. You must fulfill all that before you leave. And we're looking at this process involved, and that's why we give that range. It does not mean that it must be compulsory, that you must spend 2 years. No. If you are able to fulfill and now meet the requirement, and all that is required, you'll be able to move. But what we cannot do, just somebody just qualify today and he just leave without following those process.
So did you see how he tried to justify his actions? It wasn't even making any sense. Trying to compare the Western way of verification to they are politically imposed and unstructured. Like just woke up one day and started imposing things on people. How can he ever compare the way things are done in Nigeria? Nurses here, they get a lot of loans to go to school, but we pay our money, we pay our school fees from scratch to the end in Nigeria. Nurses get retention bonuses. There are some provinces here in Canada, if you come to work in that province, you get 50,000 Canadian dollars. He didn't see that to compare. He couldn't do that. No incentive to retain people. There are provinces that are easing off things for nurses just to get them into the system. Wake up, Farouk. So please, people, be informed. Do what you've got to do and get your way out if you want to. Let nobody be your pharaoh. Fellow colleague, fellow nurses, let nobody be your pharaoh, okay? So I think if you have anything about that video, just put it down. so, so please, as a way of advice, if you can move your document from Nigeria, move them from your school, whichever school you graduated from. Move your document and bank them in any of these organizations. When you need them, all you just need to do is just send them an email to say, I need you to send my verification. I need you to send my certificate to so and so school. I'm going to this school and they are requesting. I need you to send them to this school, or I need you to send them this to this company, or I need you to send this to immigration. They will send it at a token of $30. So my good people, this is where I draw the curtain today. As we continue to pray for our country, as we continue to believe that someday we're going to get that country back, it doesn't matter how long they hold our country in captive, we're going to get it back. But while we fight to get it back, please cross your T's and dot your I's. Cross your T's and dot your I's, because these people, they send their children out of Nigeria and care less about you as an individual, as a citizen. And when you fend for yourself, you want to get out of that country they've messed up by yourself, they try to hold you back. They try to hold you back. So help yourself. Get everything that you think is very important to you. In any way you think they can hold you back, when you are ready to get out, and move. I believe Nigeria will rise again. I don't know how. Remember how they said Ghana must go? When I was growing, they chased Ghanaians out of Nigeria. And that's the history of Ghana must go back. But today, the same politicians take our money, steal our money, and they are buying houses in the same Ghana. Ghanaians took their country back. And someday, be encouraged, we're going to take our country back from those demonic political leaders. I don't know how, but it's going to happen. So while we do that, my good people, please cross your T's and dot your I's, so that when you are ready to move, nobody can stop you. So I thought I should drop this and be encouraged. Don't be discouraged. We're going to rise up again. We are going to rise up again. So once again, thank you for stopping by us at Global Asset channel. And please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, do subscribe. Push the subscription button over there. Like, share, and watch my video. Share. Let's share this good news. Let's share this information. A lot of people don't know how many people have been stopped because they couldn't get their transcript where they wanted to get it, when in the real sense, you can actually get it whenever you want to get it if you bank it in the right place. So with this being said, I want to say thank you once more and have a good one. Bye.